and climate justice. Could you talk about that?
Yeah. So I think, you started the right way, which this is really the big challenge of our times. If there's one area where the world needs to come together and focus, it is on this issue, not of climate change, not even of climate crisis, but of climate catastrophe.
Climate catastrophe.
What's at stake? And I listened very carefully to the president as he spoke. I think he spoke well, and it's good to see him providing leadership at a global level on this question. So Richard Munang, the UNEP director, puts it this way. In a piece that he wrote a couple of days ago, he said, we've seen something like $70 billion worth of losses in terms of our economies in East Africa. We've seen probably about 500,000 lives lost as a result of climate change. And our agricultural productivity has come down by about 36%, right? So if there is a continent that needs to be at the center of this, and in fact, this is why they're calling this the Africa COP, because it's not just that it's happening in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, but it is also happening at a time that Africa needs leadership and to provide leadership for the world. I was staggered by one of the statistics that he shared, which was that Africa would be 20% richer if we'd been able to manage the carbon emissions, more effectively. And this is what's at stake. So what is being debated really, what is controversial and what is the big challenge before the COP27 is essentially what they call loss and damage. It is the $10 billion that's required per annum to be able to deal with the effects of climate catastrophe. And yes, it will be issues to do with the sea rising for countries like Senegal and for the coastal port cities. In fact, I wouldn't strike Mombasa off this list either. But I think it's also to do with fires. That the planet is getting hotter. That there are certain parts of our economies that will be unsustainable.